Hello everyone, welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zeng. While the Beijing Winter Olympics is going to open in less than 3 weeks, a former doctor of China's national sports team and her son came out again to expose the dark secret of how the CCP uses its national power to force athletes to dope. After talk about what they exposed, I will talk briefly about why the CCP would do such a thing. Xue Yingxian was a doctor and the head of China's national sports team's medical team. This is a photo of her going to Seoul with China's national sports team to attend the Olympics in 1988. She fled China in 2017 with 68 work journals. Her son Yang Weidong compiled all of the contents of these journals into a book called China Drugs, which is going to be published in Chinese and French soon. Recently, Yang Weidong did an interview with the Chinese edition of the Epoch Times and revealed how the CCP has been systematically forcing Chinese athletes to take drugs to enhance their performance for decades. First of all, the National Sports Team of China is a state-owned organization, just like any other government-owned body. All athletes are paid by the CCP like any other government full-time employees. Doing sports is their profession. Many of them are selected to join the national sports team when they are very young. As soon as they enter the team, they are owned by the CCP, body and soul. As sports is a very special profession, they are trained in a closed environment and separated from their families at a very young age. In other words, the CCP uses the national power of the entire country to create a team of athletes that will represent China, compete for China, and win awards internationally. This is called 举国体制 in Chinese. There's no such word in English. Maybe we can translate it as the whole nation system or all-out system. It is very different from the systems in Western countries, where the athletes who compete in the Olympics are not professional ones and are on their own. In this sense, we can say that it is very unfair for amateur athletes to compete with the Chinese athletes who are created by the CCP's whole nation system. According to Yang Weidong, the CCP has been requiring the athletes to dope for decades. In the 80s and the 90s, doping was the most rampant. Until now, doping is still an open secret in the whole Chinese sports community. Only nobody is talking about it. He said the practice at that time was to inject hormones into the body a month or 20 days in advance. And after 20 days of urination and sweating, you can't find it through urine tests, but its energy was still there. For example, Chinese women's badminton player Li Lingwei, who competed in the 1986 Asian Games in Seoul, was investigated for doping then. In order to cover up this scandal, the CCP's National Sports Commission said it was an accident. Li Lingwei mistakenly took some Chinese herb medication because she had the flu and then put the blame on the medical team that accompanied the athletes. As a result, a doctor called Huang Meiyu was forced to almost commit suicide. In fact, Li Lingwei's doping was deliberately arranged by the CCP's National Sports Commission and conducted by Chen Zhanghao, who was a late a lead doctor for the national sports team. And you know what? Li Lingwei is now a member of the International Olympic Committee, IOC, and the vice president of the Chinese Olympic Committee. This is a photo of Dr. Xue Yingxian in 2017. She said that in 1986, she was asked to dope gymnast Li Ning, but she refused. Does anybody still remember Li Ning? He won 4 golden medals and 1 silver medals in the 1987 Asian Games in Seoul. And he was chosen to light the main torch of the Beijing Olympic Games at the grand opening ceremony in 2008. Dr. Xue Yingxian said that she didn't know whether Li Ning was later doped by another doctor after she refused to do that in 1986 at the Asian Games in Seoul. Yang Weidong said because of the need to dope athletes, a new profession was created inside China's national sports team. A group of people were put inside the medical team, and those people were called massage therapists. Yang Weidong said these people didn't have any proper medical training at all. Some of them were retired athletes, some were cleaning workers who used to sweep the floor of the gyms. Some used to work at the athletes' canteen. Some were boiler workers, farmers, retired soldiers, etc. The job status of the massage therapists were lower than nurses in terms of the medical profession, but their salary level was the same as the doctors, and they were given the same kind of power of doctors. Their function was to dope athletes, especially when doctors refused to do the job. Yang Weidong said by the year 2000, many doctors were going to retire. Those massage therapists thus became formal doctors without any examinations or qualification procedures. So those people were bought over by the CCP for the second time. That's one of the main reasons why they don't say anything about the doping problem of the Chinese team. Yang Weidong said at that time the athletes were passive. They were forced or coaxed by the coaches and massage therapists to dope. They were told that what they were taking were some special nutritional products that could keep them in good shape, etc. But the real purpose was money and fame. If the athletes won the games, the coaches could have a bonus. If the athletes won the Olympic championship, even the athletes' childhood coaches and kitchen staff could get some bonuses. So everyone received some benefits. That's the logic behind all of this. Yang Weidong said whenever he exposes the doping problems of the CCP's national sports team, there are people saying that doping is a problem that exists everywhere, not only in China. Yang Weidong said it is true that doping exists everywhere, but in China it is done at the national level under instruction from the CCP. There is a party branch at each team, and it is the party secretaries who enforce doping, and the drugs are paid for by the CCP. It's not like in other countries where it is the athletes' own problems at their own cost. Yang Weidong said her mother published an article in Gymnastic magazine in November 1987. The title of the article was An Analysis of the Etiology of Achilles tendon rupture in gymnasts. This article talks about the case of an athlete on China's national gymnastic team called Li Donghua. He encountered problems after taking hormones continuously for a month. When he landed after doing a backflip, he ruptured his Achilles tendons in both feet. So that was the side effect of taking stimulants. The walls of the blood vessels became very fragile. That's why his Achilles tendons ruptured when there was a slight external collision. Do you still remember this athlete? He's Liu Xiang, a Chinese 110-meter hurdles world record holder and 2004 Olympic, 2007 World, and 2008 World Indoor Champion. He had to quit the Games and the 2008 Beijing Olympics after he was diagnosed with an Achilles tendon rupture in his left foot. After reading the entire description of Liu Xiang's treatment, Dr. Xue Yingxian was pretty much sure that Liu Xiang's situation was exactly the same as Li Donghua, which means the rupture was caused by taking hormones. Yang Weidong said another case is table tennis player Deng Yaping. So in 1995, when she was going to attend the World Table Tennis Championship, she purposely became pregnant through artificial insemination. After she became pregnant, all the androgens in her body grew. She won women's team gold, women's single gold, women's double gold, and mixed double silver that year. After the game, she did an abortion. So this is another way, using artificial insemination to increase hormones. Back in 1986, as soon as Xue Yingxian refused to dope Li Ning, she was punished by the National Sports Commission. She was suppressed for a while and removed from the national sports team in 1991 before she retired in 1998. Before the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games, the National Sports Commission sent a 70-strong condolence team to her home, and the leading official asked her to stop talking about the doping problem of the Chinese national sports team. Her husband, Yang Ketong, expressed his strong opposition against this and was severely beaten up by the staff of the Sports Commission and knocked to the ground. He felt unconscious and died a few days later in the hospital. His death angered Yang Weidong so much that he also started to expose the doping issue. In 2015, he went to protest in front of the CCP's National Sports Commission and was arrested and detained. In 2016, his mother Xue Yingxian became ill at home. They called an ambulance, but the ambulance drove them around the city for 4 hours, trying to delay the time for them to get to the hospital. And when they finally reached the hospital, the doctors refused to treat her, so they were convinced that there was a dark force that wanted to kill her. In 2017, Yang Weidong, his wife, and his mother managed to escape to Germany. This is the photo of Yang Weidong and her mother, Xue Yingxian. Now the Beijing Winter Olympics is coming. Yang Weidong hopes that the IOC and the international world will not become accomplices of the CCP out of their own interest. You may wonder, why would the CCP take the risk to dope their athletes? Well, in China, everything is about politics and the CCP's power. The CCP was not elected by the people, so legitimacy is a problem that always bothers it. That's why it needs athletes to win medals to prove to the Chinese people and the world that the CCP is doing well, China is strong, etc. But apart from a small number of athletes who became coaches, sports officials, business people, or some brand ambassadors after they retire, the majority of the retired athletes live a very hard life, as most of them start training at a very young age and don't have any other skills to make a living. Their health may have also been damaged by doping. Some also got a lot of injuries. So let me show you. This is a report from a Chinese media outlet. The woman in the photo is Guo Ping. She was chosen to join the sports team when she was only 9 years old, but she had only 3 years of primary school education. So she had only 3 years of primary school education. She was the runner-up in the international marathon held in Japan in 1998. She won 16 different medals in 12 years of her career, but had to retire in 2002 after her leg was injured. She could hardly make a living as she didn't have any other skills. She sold 5 of her 16 medals for 66,000 yuan, or about 10,000 US dollars. But if the hospital had not offered to treat her for free, she would have hardly been able to afford the medical bills. She said she will never allow her son to practice sports in the future, no matter how talented she is. And this is a photo of Quan Hongchan. She's a Chinese diver, national champion, and Olympic champion, and she is only 14 years now. She started training as young as 7 years old. Last year, after she won the gold medal at the Tokyo Olympics, when the reporter asked her what her motivation to win was, she said, "Because my mother was sick. If I win, I can send a lot of money home." And when another reporter asked her how she would describe her character or personality, she didn't understand what character was. She thought character was a person, so she asked, "Who is character?" Let's see a short video of her perfect diving. As a 14-year-old child, she had never been to a zoo, to a child's park, or a playground. On the one hand, her family is too poor. On the other hand, her childhood was taken away by the CCP so that she could become a perfect medal-winning machine for the CCP. Well, that's basically some dark secrets of the CCP's whole nation sports system. The CCP treats sports games as an important political task, but often criticized other countries for politicizing sports. I don't quite understand what kind of logic that is, nor do I understand why the IOC would grant the CCP the Winter Olympics or any Olympics at all. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. In the past few days, I lost quite a few subscriptions. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, or check if you are still subscribed if you have. Sometimes people get unsubscribed without their knowledge. And if you could, please also consider going to my website at jenniferzengblog.com, sign up for a membership, or support me by making a donation. Thank you so much. See you next time.